In 1897, the Pioneer Mining and Manufacturing Company purchased roughly 5,000 acres of land several miles north of Birmingham for the development of underground coal mining. By 1898, the new Seriton coal mine was operating a slope on what became known as the Mary Lee coal seam that averaged roughly 7 to 8 feet in thickness. A dedicated short-line railroad was built from the Seriton mine running 3 miles southwest to the company's blast furnace, which was located at Thomas, near Pratt City. By late 1899, coal from the Seriton mine was being transported via the company's railroad to its blast furnace at Thomas. When the Georgia Pacific Railway finally completed their line from Birmingham to Columbus, Mississippi, and later on to the port of Greenville along the Mississippi River in 1888, it allowed for a rapid expansion of new coal mining operations to open up west of Coburg. New coal mines and camps would be established at Brookside, Cardiff, and Blossburg that were operated by the Sloss Sheffield Steel and Iron Company. New branch and spur lines were built from the main line to reach these new mining operations. An additional line would eventually be constructed southeast of Blossburg to the new coal mines being operated by the Tutwiler Coal and Coke Company. Another new branch line was built running south from Coburg to reach the new mines near Stockton being operated by TCI in the Pratt coal field. In 1894, Southern Railway merged the Georgia Pacific Railway into their system and thereafter operated all lines in rolling stock under their banner. Located in between all these new coal mining operations and camps was a large section of land purchased by the Pioneer Company that was yet to be developed. Located some 5 miles to the northwest of Seriton and 1 mile west of Coburg, situated along the Southern Railway line that was originally built by the Georgia Pacific Railway. In 1899, this area was marked off by surveyors and engineers as the site of a new series of coal mines as yet to be named. Southern Railway was contracted to construct 2 separate spur lines to reach the new mines. The first spur line was built to a new slope mine that would operate on a vein of coal from the venerated Pratt seam that averaged some 5 feet in thickness, that was found to be between 200 to 300 feet below the surface. The second spur line was built 3/4 of a mile west to reach a series of what eventually became 6 strip mines that would operate on the upper Pratt seam, averaging 36 to 40 inches in thickness. During this time period, the Pioneer Mining and Manufacturing Company was being absorbed into the new Republic Iron and Steel Company of Ohio. By 1900, the new mining camp had been named Republic and the mines named Warner in honor of Republic's president, Mr. R.S. Warner. With the new Warner slope mines and drifts being opened, numerous coal miners and their families from nearby Blossburg, Brookside, and Cardiff relocated to the new mining camp at Republic for better pay and new housing to work at the Warner mines. As the Warner slope mine was being developed, a new wooden tipple was erected from the portal up over the new spur line tracks and siding. A Stewart coal washer was built adjacent to the tipple, along with a cable hoist house, boiler plant, fan house, and mine office. At the Warner drift mines, a central loading tipple was built adjacent to the spur line and sidings that all drift mines and tramways connected to it. As the Warner coal mines were being worked, the mining camp at Republic was being enlarged with additional houses being built for employees and their families, along with a new commissary, medical office, schools, and a post office. With rapidly expanding rail traffic to the growing community, a new passenger and freight depot was built by Southern Railway. By the summer of 1901, so much high-quality coal was being extracted from the Warner Slope mine that miners from the company's nearby drift mines were pulled away to work in the slope mine. During this period, over 500 coal miners were employed at Warner, making it the largest coal mining operation in the state of Alabama and the South. The daily output of coal from Warner averaged some 1,800 tons, making it the largest in the Birmingham district. By October 1901, mining was temporarily shut down at Warner while new machinery was placed inside the mine. With the Warner Slope mine being reopened and new machinery in place, daily and monthly output of coal would increase, as well as the number of miners being employed. The drift mines at Warner were also reopened and expanded to 6 openings, with some 200 miners assigned to them. The extracted coal from the Warner mines was transported by Southern Railway to the company's blast furnace located at Thomas for the production of pig iron. In 1903, 2 batteries of Beehive-style coke ovens, consisting of 100 for each battery, were built nearby to the Warner Slope mine. Coal brought to the surface was sent through the coal washer adjacent to the tipper. After the coal was washed and resized, it was loaded into Larry cars and pulled by dinky locomotives along a rail system atop the coke ovens. Coal was then deposited through an opening at the top of the oven, and the main door was sealed with the top left open for ventilation. After the coal was set alight to burn out the impurities for 48 to 72 hours, allowing the coal to become hardened, turning it into coke. One of the most critical elements in finalizing the production of coke is the need for a lot of water to cool off the coke ovens and the coke itself, along with reducing the dangerous gases being emitted from the finished coke. Engineers installed a Cameron steam operating water pumping system about 3/4 of a mile northwest along a bend in 5 Mile Creek, below the spur rail line that serviced the drift mines. A 6-inch water pipeline was laid from above the bank in the creek where the water pumping station was to the coke oven batteries to have a constant supply of water for the cooling process. This same technique was also used along 5 Mile Creek at the Mary Lee and Colberg coke ovens to the east of the Warner mines. After the water cooling process, the main door was opened and the men had to shovel out the coke into the waiting rail cars for transportation to the company's blast furnace at Thomas. Coke was an essential element that went into the making of pig iron. As coal mining expanded underground at Warner, the coal output increased every year. By 1907, some 406,000 tons of coal was pulled from the mines at Warner. Even though a large percentage of coal extracted from the Warner mine went to the company's blast furnace at Thomas, a portion was secured under contract by Southern Railway for use in their locomotives. Another portion was sold on the open market to steamship companies operating from the ports of Mobile and New Orleans. By 1910, the drift mines at Warner had pretty much been worked out, and engineers began developing a backslope mine angling to the northwest near the base of a large ridgeline that paralleled behind the coke oven batteries, coal tipple, and washer. With the main Warner slope mine angling to the southeast, the 2 slope mines were then connected underground via long haulage ways. The main purpose of the back slope, later designated as the number 2 slope, was to provide more direct access to the Pratt coal seam to the northwest. The Warner property consisted of just over 2,600 acres in total, which covered some 2 miles in length north to south and some 2.5 miles east to west. Electric locomotives had begun being used in the Warner mines around this time to haul long strings of loaded coal cars along the mine's long haulage ways to the central loading area at the bottom of both slopes, where the coal cars would be hooked to the hoist cables and pulled to the surface. 2 underground stables for mules were also located inside the mines. Mules were used to pull loaded coal carts from the working headers to the main haulage ways, where they were hooked up and transported by the electric locomotives. Pneumatic drills were used more frequently to drill into the faces of the coal seam for the placement of dynamite charges. Electric coal cutters, along with coal gathering and conveyor machines, were utilized with more frequency to increase the output of coal. By 1912, a new slope mine was developed at the northeast end of the property, some 2,600 feet from the main tipple. The new slope mine adjacent to a section of Southern Railway's main line, which paralleled on the south side of 5 Mile Creek. The new mine was named in honor of Mr. R.E. Butler, who was then Republic Iron and Steel Company's chief mining engineer for the Birmingham district. This mine had its own separate rail siding and loading tip along the main line. It may be assumed that the coal from the Butler Slope mine went directly under contract to Southern Railway. By 1915, an additional slope mine, designated as number 3, was developed some 1,600 feet north of the main tipple. The number 3 slope mine was driven down some 150 to 200 feet in a northerly direction to work the Pratt seam under a large portion of the Republic mining camp. During these years of operation, some 450 to 600 miners were employed at the Warner mines. An additional 200 men were employed working at topside positions such as the coal washer, tipple, coke ovens, boiler plants, hoist houses, repair shops, bathhouses, and stables. Other positions staffed by employees of Republic Iron and Steel Company were those of doctors, nurses, school teachers, commissary staff, mine office, payroll, and supply personnel. Since all of the houses that the employees lived in were owned by the company, various skilled laborers and journeymen were employed to maintain them along with the other buildings on the company's property. By 1920, the rough estimate of the population at Republic was anywhere between 1,500 to 1,900. Southern Railway provided daily passenger and freight service to the mining community and usually had at least 3 of their own personnel that operated the depot at Republic. In the years between 1921 to 1927, underground coal mining at the Warner mines had started to slow down. By 1923, the original Warner slope mine, designated as number 1 slope, and the back slope mine, designated as the number 2 slope, had been under infrequent operations. The Butler slope mine had ceased operations, leaving only the number 3 slope mine still in full operation. From 1923 to 1926, the Warner mines were averaging only 64,000 tons of coal output annually. By this time, the underground workings of the mines had reached the property boundary lines in all sections. The 2 batteries of coke ovens had been closed down during this time as well. Company officials began drawing down on the number of miners needed and offered transfers to Republic's nearby Thompson mine, which had opened in 1912 and was operating on the same Pratt coal seam. Others were offered positions at the Sayrton mine, which was preparing to open a second slope entry by the end of 1927. This included new housing for the miners and their families. The remaining force of miners still at Warner were tasked with extracting as much coal as possible from the worked-out headers by performing the dangerous task of removing pillars as they worked backwards from the property boundary lines towards the slope entries. This process was called the retreating pillar method. Underground coal mining, as well as ore mining, utilized in those days the room and pillar method that allowed for roof stabilization in the mine. By removing the pillars, the roof of the mine would eventually collapse. By 1928, the last carloads of coal were hoisted to the surface, signaling the end for the Warner mines. The remaining coal miners transferred with their families to Sayrton or found positions with other nearby coal mining companies such as the Alabama Byproducts Corporation, Tennessee Coal Iron and Railroad Company, Sloss Sheffield Steel and Iron Company, and the Brookside Pratt Mining Company. A skeleton workforce was kept on to remove the last equipment from underground and begin dismantling the surface facilities, with most equipment being sold off at auction or to other mining companies. The commissary, mine office, schools, and other facilities were closed. Southern Railway ceased operations at Republic and no longer made stops on its line. Southern Railway eventually removed the spur line tracks to all the mines along with the rail sidings near the commissary. During the 1930s, the population had decreased so much at Republic that numerous abandoned homes were either sold off or razed by the company to decrease the amount of property taxes it had to pay for existing structures. Sometime in the mid-1940s, the commissary, schools, and rail depot buildings were either razed or burned down. With that, the Warner coal mines faded into memory. In 1978, the state of Alabama received federal funding for the construction of a new interstate that would parallel the existing heavily trafficked U.S. Highway 78 that ran from Birmingham to Memphis, Tennessee. The new project was known as Corridor X, as no interstate number would be assigned until near completion. After nearly 20 years of wasted government politics and funding issues, construction began in 1997 just south of Gardendale, where the new interstate would connect with the existing Interstate 65. Some of the larger issues involved in developing the new interstate were the locations of so many inactive and abandoned underground coal mines that were located in northwestern Jefferson County and sections of nearby Walker County that the interstate would run through. Engineers had to make sure that no surface subsidences would occur when building over these coal mines. Case in point, the new route of the interstate would go directly over the main underground workings of the old Warner mines. Instead of constructing a bridge over the deep ravine where the number 1 and number 2 slopes were located, it was decided to fill it in and make a berm. If there were any mine openings left, they were filled in with cement and sealed off. As well could be said, if there were any remains of the coke oven batteries, they too were leveled and covered over. Different sections of the new interstate began opening by 2005, and by 2016, with the new route from Birmingham to Memphis finally completed, it was officially designated as Interstate 22. This is a view looking from I-22 north, and down to the left would have been the position and location of the 2 batteries of coke ovens that were at the Warner mines. And to the right, where the arrow is, would have been the position and location of the spur lines that ran from the main line of Southern Railway. Further north, the lines actually went directly up under where the interstate is today. This is the same photo, same direction, looking from the top of I-22, and a inserted photo of a section of coke batteries. It's not the Warner coke oven batteries, but a similar coke oven battery from the Birmingham district, but it gives you an idea of what it would have looked like from this vantage point, this angle, when they were in operation. This is on the other side of I-22, looking to the southwest, and to the far right down below, really directly under the berm where I-22 runs over, would have been the remains of where the Warner Backslope number 2 mine location was. This is a view from I-22 looking southeast, and down to the bottom left hand corner of the photo would have been the location or near location of the original main slope or slope number 1 mine. This photograph was taken at the Warner Coal Mines in 1918. The photographer took it looking to the northwest. To the left of the photo, you can see the Stewart coal washer, which is adjacent to the loading tipple. You've got the boiler house stacks, which are on the far right, upper far right of the photograph. Behind the boiler house, if you kept moving to the right of the photo, would have been the batteries of coke ovens. In the center photo, you have, of course, the loading tipple and the tracks that slope down towards or angle down towards the main entry of the original Warner mine, or later designated as slope number 1. But it's a very unique photo, gives a lot of detail of what the Warner mines looked like back in 1918 when they were in full operation. This photo is looking to the south from the intersection of Cherry Avenue and Republic Road. Photo insert of 2 sections of rail spur lines heading in the direction of where the Warner coal mine tipple and coal washer and the coke oven batteries would have been located. Interstate 22 is just right behind that berm where the arrow is, and the coke oven batteries would have been located behind that big metal building in the background. So it just gives you an idea of the direction of the rail spur lines and what everything looks like today. This photo is looking to the west at the location of Cherry Avenue and Republic Road. The 2 lines running across almost the center of the photo indicate the position of the rail spur lines that will connect with the main line of Southern Railway up towards the main area of Republic. And to the left, they would have headed towards the coal mine tipple, coal washer, and the coke ovens. The arrow down to the far left, somewhere in this area, was the location for the entrance to the Warner number 3 slope mine. The slope mine entered and went underground and proceeded north towards the main mining camp of Republic. But somewhere in this area, as the maps indicate, to the right of the spur rail lines, somewhere in this area, I don't know how they did it, but the slope entrance was in this area. So as an exact location, don't have it, but in this general area is where the slope mine entrance would have been for the number 3. This photo is taken just about 20 yards south of the intersection of Republic Road, and this is Cherry Avenue looking towards the west to the northwest, so to say. That's a photo insert for the location of the mule and horse stables for the Warner coal mines. The mule and horse stable was located just on the south side of the little creek that ran almost parallel with the rail spur line. The creek headed off in a northwesterly direction towards the Republic mining camp. But in that open field area behind where the telephone poles are would have been the location for the mule and horse stables for the Warner coal mines. This is a 1923 photo insert looking north from Republic Road towards the current day rail crossing, and the photo shows what the mining camp would have looked like back in the day, back in 1923. You can see all the houses, see a couple of rail cars that are on the sidings of the Southern Railway main line, and down towards the bottom center left of the photo is the rail spur lines that were coming from the former coal mine tipple, coal washers, coke ovens, and how they eventually intersected to the far right into the main line. But this is taken from Republic Road looking to the north at what used to be the Republic Mining Camp. This is taken at the intersection of Republic Road and the current day rail crossing of Norfolk Southern, which actually operates over the old Southern Railway line. But this is looking to the northwest along the mainline tracks, and the commissary and mine office locations were located further back down in the woods behind that big metal building off to the center right of the photo. Back in that section of woods back there would have been the commissary for the Republic Mining Camp, and behind the commissary would have been a couple of the mine offices. But they just got one siding current day, but back in the day there were as many as 4 different rail sidings in this location. I didn't indicate it in the photo, but off to the left in that section of woods right there was a whole nother area of the Republic Mining Camp, workers' homes and such. So, but this is just looking to the northwest where the commissary location and mine offices used to be located. This is a photo looking just to the south of the rail crossing at Republic Road, and this is the position of the rail spur lines coming from the Warner coal mine tipple, the coke ovens, and the number 1, 2, and 3 slope mines. The rail bed, some of the remains of the rail bed are still there, just down the rise from Republic Road. You can still see them really only in the winter time, but you can still see the rail spur line bed. But this is the position with a photo insert of what the tracks would have looked like coming from the coal mines to connect with the main line of Southern Railway back in the day. This is a photo looking to the east from the rail crossing at Republic Road. The arrow indicates the location and position of where the depot operated by Southern Railway for the Republic mining community would have been. It was a combination freight and passenger depot. This is a 1923 photo insert of a section of the Republic Mining Camp. Current location of the photo in the insert was about 100 yards north of the rail crossing on Republic Road, and you're looking to the kind of the northwest section, and it just shows another area of the Republic Mining Camp from Republic Road as it is today. Okay, so right here below is 5 Mile Creek. You have the bend in the creek heading back to the north, and just up above where Cherry Avenue is where the Southern Railway spur line broke off the main line, and all the way up above there with the Warner drift lines right there. So this section right here, when they built the Beehive coke ovens way back down there next to the Warner slope mine, you have to cool off the coke ovens
once they've been heating for quite a while, for a number of hours. So they installed a Cameron steam-operated water pumping system right around here in this general area, because they had free access to 5 Mile Creek and they had to use a lot of water. So the pumping system was placed right around in this area, and they had a water line that stretched all the way back, paralleling what is now Cherry Avenue, all the way to the coke ovens. So, like I said, it was mounted right here, and they had a pipeline going into the creek to draw the water out, transfer it, and send it like 3/4 of a mile. I think it was like a 2 1/4 inch or 3 inch pipe, all the way back to where the coke ovens were. And they used the water from 5 Mile Creek to cool the coke ovens when the coke was done processing, and before they shoveled it out and loaded it onto the rail cars to be sent down to the Thomas Furnace in Birmingham. So, but anyway, with as much as this creek floods, there's no way that there'd be any remains of the Cameron water pumping system left, but other than a lot of trash right here. But anyway, like I said, the spur line to the Warner drift lines were right up above.
This is Cherry Avenue, and below is 5 Mile Creek. And Cherry Avenue sits on a section of the spur line from the Southern Railway that service the Warner coal drift mines. This is one of, I think, only 3 coal drift mines that are even visible for viewing today. Of course, they're all sealed and closed off. And these work the Pratt coal seam, averaging 36 to 40 inches in thickness. This is moving a little bit further west, down along the remains of the old tramway bed. You have the Southern Railway spur line, which Cherry Avenue, a section of it, is built over. And just up ahead is one of the Warner coal drift mine remains. And it's a pretty sizable looking drift mine. Even though it's closed, the opening to the drift mine must have been about 8 to 10 feet in height. And once, when these were once open, all the drift mines were interconnected with each other via underground haulage ways. It's more than likely that sometime in the 1930s, the Warner coal drift mines were sealed by the Works Progress Administration, with the mines being so close, their proximity to 5 Mile Creek. So one of the programs that they initiated and carried out was closing up old coal drift mines that were anywhere near any possible drinking water, and 5 Mile Creek was used as a drinking water source. And this is just a view towards the, from the top of the drift mine, where the entrance would have been about 3 or 4, maybe 5 feet below this position. And this is just a look from the top down out from the entrance toward the tramway bed. And like I said, the entrance must have been about 8 to 10 feet in height. So the Warner coal drift mines are the only remaining visible evidence left of the Warner coal mine complex that was operated by Republic Iron and Steel Company. I hope everybody enjoyed the video presentation, and thank you so much for watching.